Oh. Oh. What's happening?
I got buckle fat removal.
Oh. Well, I didn't know this.
I got it today while you were gone.
Oh, gotcha.
It just kind of makes my jaw look big, actually. My cheeks don't look any smaller.
What's good, everybody?
Hi, everybody.
I'm John.
Oh, and I'm Kendra. It's been a while.
I feel like it's been so long.
We've got ring rust.
Ringside rust. Hey,
Exactly.
Welcome to another edition of Ringside. And we've already introduced ourselves. That's okay. Yeah, it's just, you know what? We're still doing it. And we're still, we had episodes come out last month. We had months come out last episode. And we're just a little delayed on our projected whatchamajig schedule. My schedule won't allow it.
I've got to stop canceling. Wait, I can't cancel that again. Yeah.
Hey guys, does anyone else have the problem of like quoting Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas
I do feel like
every single month?
I do feel like that's actually a problem. Probably a lot of people, probably of a certain generation, do have. It's just so quotable. I know that
so quotable.
Like I've heard from multiple people that like that's one of their favorite movies. Obviously,
It's certainly one of mine.
it might be my favorite movie like of all time.
Yeah,
I love it.
I don't blame you.
And I was, as you know, huge Jim Carrey stan when I was 10 years old. I did a report on him for school.
I love Jim Carrey.
I love Jim Carrey.
What's your favorite Jim Carrey movie
How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
besides How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
I really like Ace Ventura 2, When Nature Calls. I think I saw that one first. And like, I think I saw the first Ace Ventura when I was an adult. But I watched Ace Ventura 2, When Nature Calls, over and over and over again when I was a kid. So much so that I would memorize monologues and then perform them for my family.
I love that.
I was, anything to get the applause, the attention. And then now I'm here.
And look, not much has changed, brother.
What is this if not reciting a Jim Carrey monologue?
I am partial to The Mask. I
That's a good one.
love The Mask.
Yeah.
I feel like The Mask, Liar Liar, those are two of like my all-time favorite.
I think
Jim
I've only
Carrey's.
seen those once each, both as an adult. The Mask scared me when I was a kid, so I didn't watch
that's
that. So
He's a little
scary.
He's a little zany.
Yeah. But yeah, both fantastic movies. Sonic,
Sonic is great.
and he's
Truman
great in it.
Show, great.
That one, that'll mess you up.
That's trippy.
That'll change your literal life. My entire outlook on life. Another Grinch quote.
Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty.
Oh
yeah.
man, Bruce Almighty.
That's probably the one I watched the third most often.
Oh, that's such a great movie.
So good. Evan Almighty? Never saw it.
And I don't. From
Why
what
would
I hear, we don't need to.
Why would I watch it?
I'm trying to think of other Jim Carrey. There's just so many. Dumb and Dumber. Love
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber.
You could just listen to them all.
I know.
They're all. I don't know if he's had any like flops.
People really love Eternal. Spotless Mind. Whatever that one is. I don't even know the title of it.
Yeah, that one seemed like a bummer, so I skipped that one. I said, this guy's supposed to make me hee hee ha ha laugh. I'm not going to watch some bummer. You guys know I have a no bummers policy.
Yeah, but maybe I should watch that one.
Maybe. I feel like you'd appreciate it now more as an adult than you would have back in the...
Make me laugh, funny man. That's what you sound like.
What's that from?
Nothing. Just me saying that.
That's just from you saying that?
It's just me saying that.
Yikes. Get your elbows off this table.
My elbows aren't on the table.
Are your hands on the table?
Yeah.
Justin, my elbows aren't even on the table.
Hang on. My elbows.
My elbows aren't even on the table.
They're not even.
Guys, it's the lighting. Guys, it's the lighting.
Guys, it's the lighting. I promise they're there. Wait, turn off that. Turn off the overhead. They made it worse.
Guys, they're there. We're both very muscular and proud of it.
Very strong, very powerful, very evil, very nice.
Very evil, very nice. Speaking of,
yeah, let's get into it.
I have been really. We can get into it, but I just want to say because I saw bits and pieces of an interview that Danhausen did with those people at WWE, that blonde lady and that other guy.
The Mini-Housens?
No. It was just him. But I just saw clips of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. And I was just sitting there thinking, I really like Danhausen. And I love his entrance music. I love that he gets to do fun stuff backstage. He's got props. He's got a body. I don't know what's going on with that. But I've been loving everything Danhausen.
You know what I love about Danhausen? First of all, I was somewhat aware of him from AEW. I don't watch AEW. Again, no hate to AEW. I just
don't have the time.
There's just so much to do. Yeah. I don't even watch NXT anymore, but that's also WWE's fault. But what I love about Danhausen is that everything he does, it's just so much fun, and it reminds me of like the late 90s, early 2000s, just like wacky shit they would just do backstage. And I'm like, this is what we need more of, because I'm always, without, getting into the negatives of it all, but like, I do think that everything in the world right now is very heavy and very serious. And we watch wrestling, I think it's safe to say, but I definitely watch wrestling to be entertained, to have fun with it, to never take it too seriously,
Yeah.
The stakes are never super high. I mean, it's like watching a TV show for me. Obviously, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
And I can appreciate the athleticism that goes into it, but it's like, it's a soap opera, right? So I love everything Danhausen's doing. It just, why are we cutting away from what's happening to see this Frankenstein experiment he's got going on? I love it. I'm into it. So I'm right there with you.
I agree. And it makes me look forward. I'm like, what the fuck is he? What clone is gonna come out? And now I'm like, who's this body? I hope they actually follow through. That's the thing always with WWE that I'm worried about, is like, I feel like we've gotten some pretty good tee-ups, and then sorry, there's a Epic Games fucking sale going on, and they had to tell me about it 3 times. Anyway. And then there's the follow through part that I think sometimes they struggle with. So as long as they keep letting Danhausen follow through on all of these crazy gimmicks and gags and stuff, I think we will continue to be very amused and appreciative of him.
And is Danhausen is he a vampire? Is he a goblin? Is he a ghoul?
I don't know.
He says human monies.
Which makes me think he's not human, and he's a mad scientist, and sometimes he can disappear, but sometimes he's just running really fast. So.
I think most times he's just running kind of fast.
Yeah.
I don't even think he's running that fast.
Well, I mean, sometimes it seemed pretty convincing that he would disappear. They couldn't find him.
That's true. But I do love Danhausen. And with that said, I also love, well, it's no secret around here, we love Kit Wilson.
Yes.
Y'all can't make me hate Kit Wilson. I want more of the goofy stuff.
Yeah.
We can't, I think it's hypocritical to love R-Truth and not love Danhausen.
Oh, he said it here first.
I don't care that you broke your elbow.
I do think we can't just reference stuff this whole episode.
Sure we can.
I do think there is people's taste in humor obviously can be different. Someone can think R-Truth is really funny and Kit Wilson isn't, or Danhausen isn't. You know what I mean? I understand that. But if you hate Kit Wilson because it's he's played for a joke. There are so many beloved wrestlers, at least to me, or historically, who for the most part, they were the joke. And that's not derogatory. Like Santino.
Mm-hmm.
R-Truth, obviously.
Goldust.
Goldust. Oh, brother.
Love Goldust.
And probably a lot more that I'm not even aware of because I just started wrestling. Whoa. I just started watching wrestling just a few years ago. But even the Chelsea Greens and stuff like that,
Reggie.
Was Reggie supposed to be played for jokes? I don't know. Tozawa?
You don't think Reggie, who was like getting possessed and slapped around and whatever?
I did forget about that part of it. He was doing backflips and shit. That was cool.
Yeah, he was jumping off a trampoline and shit.
Yeah. Anyway, but like, I don't know. I don't, the whole like serious, oh, they need to take it seriously. It's just like,
it's fucking wrestling. Like,
it's supposed to be fun and funny.
You know who else? You know who we were fans of that no one else was? Hey, y'all. We didn't hate Maximum Male Models.
Oh my God, no, we did not hate.
We didn't hate Maximum Male Models. I thought they were funny.
And you know what? That gimmick is still working for them.
It's crushing.
Somewhere else. But that was funny.
It was funny. It was fun. It was campy.
Yeah.
It was a nice break from all the more serious stuff.
Yeah.
But even the serious stuff, it's like, yeah, but it's not like serious.
Right.
I mean, it's serious, but it's not serious.
Yeah, it can never be like that serious. But I also have been enjoying recently my theory of where
Austin theory?
No, my theory of what they're doing with Sami Zayn. He said something this past week that was like, I didn't change, everyone else around me did. And it's giving like a little bit conspiracy theorist to me. And so I think maybe because we have to be getting to like a heel Sami thing because the crowd is booing him every week. And I don't believe that they're booing him because they dislike him. I think they're booing him in the canon. So now they need to figure out, okay, how do we roll with this?
Yeah.
I would love to see a revert to, I think, what was the last heel Sami Zayn that we saw, which was like conspiracy theorist Sami Zayn.
Before he became honorary Uso.
Before he was turned to the light by the Usos.
Remember, and here's what, listen, I do think, shout out to Richie Mars, he has the theory as well that he is also sort of embodying a section of the IWC that is very focused on in-ring performances as opposed to like any sort of storyline. So when he says things like, remember when it was just wrestling that mattered? Yeah. And I was like, okay, I could buy that. Either way, I hope whatever Sammy does, we get Kevin Owens back in the picture. ASAP. I miss my boy. I saw a clip of Kevin Owens today and I said, damn, I miss my boy. I forgot about him. I didn't forget about him, but like,
are there any updates on his like recovery?
Not that I'm aware of, but I know he's going to be on LFG as a coach.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
I mean, he's still up and around doing stuff.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't sure if it was like a Big E situation where he's like, hey, don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess we'll see with time, but yeah.
But anyway, so we are fresh off the heels of WrestleMania season. And we haven't had a chance to record and talk about it or do anything to talk about it. So I figure we could talk a little WrestleMania and Backlash and then go from there.
We were not at Backlash.
No.
Even though it was in Tampa at the Amalie Arena. The Amalie Arena, which is what it's called and what it will always be called.
Get fucked
and not
benchmark.
That stupid ass shit.
Watermark. Whatever the fuck.
Yeah, Skidmark. Skidmark International. I'm not calling it that. Whatever.
Yeah.
We weren't there.
No.
Them tickets were expensive.
They was expensive. So
we've got other live experiences to look forward to. Okay.
And I figured it's free to fight with my inner demons. So I just
stayed home and did that.
I just did that.
But as far as the things that happened at WrestleMania and Backlash, I obviously, no surprise, don't remember anything that happened at either of these events. I will need my memory jogged depending on what you would like to talk about. How could you forget
all the ads in WrestleMania? The 4-minute ad breaks.
That was WrestleMania.
Yes.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was kind of crazy, you guys. Yeah, I agree. So as you know, we typically talk about things we enjoy, which we will. But I do think it's a more than fair criticism to say like, hey, I think that might be the tipping point for WrestleMania specifically, but really WWE as a whole. I do think WrestleMania 42 is sort of the tipping point of, wow, those are a lot of ads.
Yeah, this is kind of like, I think that was them being like, okay, so that's as far as we can push it.
Yeah.
Before people start to notice,
right,
and then get mad at how many ads there are.
Because the ads were long, and the matches, for the most part, were very short.
Yeah.
So when WrestleMania is your Super Bowl, and when WrestleMania is like, I'm not as against celebrity involvement because it's always been baked into the DNA of WrestleMania.
Like from the first WrestleMania.
And people who like to pretend otherwise, like that's fine. You can kick and scream all you want, but like that's just the reality of it. Mm-hmm. So I understand that you want to make it a spectacle and you want to make it like, you want to get as many new eyes on WrestleMania as possible. I think you have to find a good middle ground where you are still servicing the people who watch week in, week out, as well as the people who this may be their first time ever watching something. Mm-hmm. But to like have a 10-minute package, 15-minute entrances, and then a 7-minute match.
Yeah.
It is kind of insane.
Yeah.
I love the earlier start time.
I did love the earlier start time.
Earlier. It's because we're in our 30s and we're like,
and we want to go to sleep.
I'm just trying to go to sleep at a normal time.
I remember those first few PLEs back when they were PPVs.
And they were on like...
They were at like 8.
On a Sunday.
And they were like, you were up till fucking midnight.
Yeah.
And a half. Midnight and a half on a Sunday, on a school night. Anyway, that was crazy. But I feel like, do you think people would have as much of an issue with the ad time if the matches were longer?
I think if the matches were longer and if the matches were a little bit better, but they could only be so good
when you have 7 minutes.
When you have 7 minutes to do, 7 minutes to have a match.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do. So, and like, I mean, I think perhaps the two biggest crimes, the number one biggest crime is, having Stephanie and Liv put on like a 6-minute match or whatever the fuck that was.
Wasn't theirs the 7-minute one?
Trick Williams and Sami Zayn was I think at least had 7 minutes. I think Liv and Stephanie Vaquer had less. Even shorter. So anyway, and look, I've been touting the fucking praises of Liv Morgan over the last few months. I'm a fan now, okay? And I'm a fan of her new song, and hey, I liked her entrance.
I like her entrance music.
I do too.
There are people who are like, this is booty, this is ass. That is perfect entrance music for her.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And I hope she makes a little bag off it. I hope she got to sign a new little something that every time it plays she streams, she gets a little something for it. So anyway, so we have very big sins like that. But then WrestleMania Night 2, so much better. So much better.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, again, you're speaking comparatively.
There wasn't the same issue with like ad times and stuff?
Well, there was. I mean...
Oh, it was just better matches.
Yes.
You're saying. Okay. I feel like that's always going to be the curse of a 2-night show. One night is going to be better than the other.
I feel like it was such a stark difference between... and hey, listen, I can never fully hate WrestleMania 42 because we got a fucking classic between Roman Reigns and CM Punk. So, but I think the overall complaints everyone had were... I think number one was the ads.
Yeah.
Was just, like, that was just kind of insane.
Yeah.
But even then, I like that. We had some Danhausen. We had some Kit Wilson. Mm-hmm. We had some Minniehausens.
Yes.
Bianca Belair came out.
Yeah. That was. Yeah, you're right.
See, I be remembering shit, Kendra.
Huh?
You don't.
I remember once you tell me she was wearing blue.
She was wearing blue.
Yeah, she's gonna have a little mini baby,
but
probably normal size baby.
But overall, I mean, WrestleMania is always, for me, it's like kind of like wrestling in general. Even when it's bad, it's still wrestling.
Even when it's bad, it's better than nothing.
It's better than not watching wrestling, you know?
Yeah. And I think this one, you had even said going into it, like, you were pretty excited. You're like, man, I think this is going to be like a sleeper hit.
Yeah.
So I feel like that it just kind of added an extra, like, oh.
Yeah.
Still, but again, a lot of what we try and like to do is pick out like the good pieces. So just because like there were some disappointments and some greed, at the end of the day, it was still overall entertaining. It was something we got to do together for the most part.
And I know I was busy auditioning half the time. But also I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that Kendra made a 1-for-1 just immediate on the money prediction.
I forgot about that. Yes, I did say if you want to go run it back, there's a clip on TikTok where I did say that Obafemi was going to beat Brock Lesnar's ass so bad that Brock Lesnar was going to retire immediately, no gun involved, and that's exactly what happened. And praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. I'm an atheist. Thank you for answering my prayers that I sent to you that day. I don't ever want to see Brock Lesnar ever again. You know what? He can show up to the Hall of Fame that I don't watch either, and he can go and do that and then never again. I know I'm going to have to see one of his offspring pop up in NXT one of these fucking days. That'll be enough. I'll let them slide. They're innocent. He's a sinner. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's crazy because I'm never calling any shots like that, and I'm never right about anything. So,
well, your words, not mine.
I'm right about most things, but but when they count, I'm not right about it. But yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, I don't know if that was even fully the plan going into it that he was going to retire. I know Paul Heyman has said that he didn't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was a spur of the moment decision or if he heard me talk about it and he said, that does sound like a good idea. I don't know. Not saying that I caused it, but
if some giant motherfucker picked me up and slammed me hard as hell, I might retire too.
Yeah.
I might be like, all right, I think I've had enough. I don't know how much more I can do of this.
I'm
eating chicken and broccoli for like 3 months straight just to get ready to be on TV, only to get slammed by some giant man 20 years younger than me.
I was going to say, this new generation.
Yeah, nah.
Obafemi's Gen Z.
That's weird. Jenny Femi.
Well.
We had the Demon versus Finn Balor. I thought that was a really good match.
Who? The Demon versus who?
The Demon versus Dominic Mysterio. Excuse me.
I would love to see
the Demon versus Finn Balor.
I don't know how the fuck they would do that.
It's like when they did the Undertaker versus the fake Undertaker.
Gain.
No, not
Blue Kane.
No, not any of those fucks. There was like a imposter Undertaker.
Oh.
That he was like.
That's fun. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off completely.
No, it's okay. What were you gonna say? That's
what I thought the whole Danhausen thing was going to be. I heard people talking about Obafemi and stuff like that. Yes, I get that. But like, I thought it was going to be someone who was like very similar to Danhausen with the face makeup on and all that stuff. Couldn't have predicted what was going to shoot out of there. And I'm so, because that.
You talking about that Backlash?
Yeah. Because, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
You were talking about the reveal for the crate at Backlash?
What is the official name?
I think they called him
Minihausen.
Yeah.
That's a AAA wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool to see. And they need to, that was another thing I was disappointed about with WrestleMania is they didn't have, did they have anyone from AAA?
I don't think so. I mean, Dominic.
Besides Dom, he doesn't count.
Hey. He was a double champ at the time. You better. No, he wasn't. but still, he could have been, and should have been. Some would argue.
But yeah, that was, again, I think that was a big, missed opportunity to see some AAA stars at WrestleMania. But we are going to have a 2-night Triple Mania.
Yep. In September.
One is, the first night's Friday night and the second night's Sunday.
Yeah.
So there's talk that Friday night, we don't know where it is yet. It might be stateside.
I would love for it to be
stateside. And I'll stop it there for the DMCA. Get it, John? I saw it. Yeah. Oh, guys, I promise, guys, with the lights perfect.
Wait,
guys.
Here's not flexed.
Okay.
Flexed.
Guys, did you see it, guys? Okay, stop. Oh, okay. Oh.
You know, Bane in Batman and Robin, he's like all puffy. That's what I look like.
No.
Anyway, but that was a good match. Demon versus Dominic. And I will say this about WrestleMania 42. Hey, listen, we were talking hot shit about really not being excited about Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill.
They did prove me wrong.
Love Rhea Ripley.
That was good.
Not the biggest Jade Cargill fans.
No.
Especially, particularly of her wrestling matches. I mean, she's fine. Like, no actual hate to her.
Oh no, absolutely not.
She'd also beat my ass. So
easily.
But
no
just
sweat.
like not the biggest fan of her matches. Leave it to WrestleMania 42, where she has arguably her best match.
I think so. Yeah.
Because it wasn't even just like, oh, it's good for Jade Cargill. It was a good match.
It was a good match.
So, yeah, I'm excited to. Wasn't the biggest fan of her promo last night on Friday Night SmackDown. But I mean, if she keeps having matches like that, I don't give a shit what she's saying, because she's gonna put on bangers. I mean, saying in promos, not like.
Yeah.
I value her position on things. Don't get me wrong.
You have a voice
maybe
queen.
I don't know her position on things.
Well.
And then of course we talked about Roman Reigns and CM Punk putting on just a classic WrestleMania main event.
Yeah,
I feel like that's going to be one that people go back to a lot as like probably a highlight of both of their careers.
Yeah.
That was such a fantastic match. No bullshit. Just like if WrestleMania 40, like that's like the big spectacle match that like if you want to show your friends like, oh, this is why I like wrestling, right?
Yeah.
But like if you just want to watch like a good solid match where they're like telling the story in a ring, I don't know. It was very good. I really liked it.
I do think that was like very needed.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, that was great. But it was also one of those things where I'm like, did anyone think it was gonna be bad?
Right.
I don't know.
I think people are always worried that like they're gonna do some bullshit.
Oh yeah. Well.
And they didn't. And it was just a great match. So
yeah.
And then of course we're coming off of Backlash, which I think this is just me. I thought Backlash was pretty great.
I thought Backlash was
pretty great.
And it felt like, and this could just be wishful thinking, it kind of felt like that they heard people's complaints and they were like, okay, let's cut these ads by a minute, because I think all the ads were like 3 minutes, and let's give them a little bit longer match times.
Now, to be fair-ish, I do have the lower tier of ESPN Unlimited, so we get ads regardless.
Yeah. Maybe it was ad free for somebody, I don't know.
Hey, maybe. And so we do get ads, but the ads are all, and I think this was the case for WrestleMania as well. The ads are placed between the matches.
Thank God.
Right.
That would be a whole separate issue if they weren't.
Yeah. Well, that's not how it is for SmackDown. But they are
SmackDown. They give you this little view that you can see during the match.
I guess you could still see the match though. But I think overall, just matches. I mean, there weren't that many. I think there was 5 matches, which I'm fine with. I don't need 10 matches on a card personally. But yeah, I thought Backlash was so good.
Yeah.
Just like, and it, I love that we got to see EO, who another crime for WrestleMania was EO not being on the card.
Yeah.
I know I feel like there was a lot happening a lot of circumstance behind that, but yeah, I mean, Io and Asuka, probably one of my favorite matches of the night, honestly.
Yeah.
But everyone had a great match. Seth and Braun had a great match.
Mm-hmm.
Trick and Sammy had a great match. Io and Asuka. The fucking tag team with the Miz and the Mini House and Kate Wilson versus the Housens, right? Yeah. Danhausen and Minihausen, and all the other Minihausens that came out. Like, I don't know, I just felt like it was such a good balance of like these like banger matches, some title matches, or maybe even just the one title match. But anyway, Roman and Jacob also put on a really good match. So I was like, and then you still, you know, of course you're gonna have the people who are never happy. They're like, this just feels like an episode of SmackDown. I'm like, I wish SmackDown was more like this. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know, right?
SmackDown is still my least favorite product right now.
And we're not even watching NXT, and I'm still putting NXT.
SmackDown is still my least favorite. It's getting better. It is getting better. And I will say,
maybe once they go back to 2 hours, they trim a little bit of the.
Yeah, I think we just gotta get to the point a little bit more.
Yeah. Hey guys, let's get to the fucking point. Let's speed it up.
I thought last night was pretty good.
Yeah, last night was fun.
So, but I just mean like overall, like I feel like Raw is still pretty damn good right now.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime we're not always on time watching AAA, but I feel like AAA is always pretty damn good.
Because AAA is a goddamn hour. That's why.
That's fair. Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Glorious. Yeah, we do need to get back into AAA.
Well, yeah, because we have the Mask versus Match match coming up soon.
Oh my God, yeah, at the end of the month, yeah. Also during Backlash. Also during Backlash. Blacklash.
Lash Legend.
No, that's one Blacklash. And hey, guys.
Hey, we did it.
I was going to say we also were informed by Mr. Senna of a new, what is it? A new championship?
The John Cena Classic.
Yeah.
It's where like there will be a John Cena Classic title.
Yeah. Is it like a tournament or is it? I
think it's a PLE, and I think it's I believe from what I understood, it's a PLE, and personally, I think it's going to replace Saturday night's main event. But it's going to be in the style of that final John Cena's farewell, like final match, where it's gonna be the top stars of WWE versus the top stars of NXT, like throughout the night, and then there's going to be a winner of the John Cena Classic, but it's going to be voted on by the fans.
Oh, that was the other thing, yeah.
So like whoever, like even if they don't win their match, doesn't mean that they can't win the John Cena Classic. But I'm like,
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work.
I feel like that's a way around them being like, you can't blame us, like when you're mad at the result.
Right.
Because like, here's what we present as the winner. And then you guys can pick the winner, the actual winner. So that whatever you pick, that's what you wanted. You guys voted on it. You can't be mad at us.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also don't necessarily trust like any competition show that are like, your vote we're gonna win.
Wow. We're gonna win.
Like, oh, your vote, you're gonna vote for the winner and it's gonna be counted, and you don't get to see any of the behind the scenes process, because why would you? So like, I don't know if I don't trust.
I have a feeling they're gonna change that aspect of it before it even starts.
So it's like,
yeah, it's so weird.
Don't think, like, how stupid do you think we are? And hey, maybe it's fully real and we're gonna be voting for this champion. I just don't foresee that happening.
I'll just don't know.
But I don't know. I think anytime there's something new for people to fight for, especially because, like, again, NXT has been pumping out, shitting out these like crazy good wrestlers. So any opportunity to see them, and this is something that we're big proponents of, is put people in the ring, put them in front of an audience. We were just talking about maybe not necessarily putting people on TV for their very first like big public performance, but like the more that you are practicing in the environment that you want to be in, which is like big crowds, live TV, the better and better you're going to get. So right. I do think that this will be a good opportunity. in that regard. I'm just interested to see how it works.
Bring back more live shows. They're having a summer tour, which is good. And I know they usually do the holiday tour. So bring back more live shows so that way everyone can wrestle more. And then, of course, obviously, we won't harp on this. Some crazy releases and departures from WWE. Particularly, we were upset about Kairi Sane, and then surprised by the New Day. Well, not surprised. I would leave if they were like, hey, actually, we're going to pay you 50 cents and a Big Mac to wrestle for us. Yeah, I'd fucking leave too. Especially after you just made like the most money ever. So.
Yeah, I'm very curious, and I know I'll never know, but to hear like, what did they offer you that you walked away from? Like, how insulting of an offer was it?
So I'm sure they'll go to AEW for a little bit, and then I think eventually they'll come back to WWE. Or they won't, which I wouldn't blame them. But like, I think they'll, especially Kofi Kingston. He's only ever been in WWE from what I understand. I think he'll want to retire WWE, but like, you also. Good on you for, knowing your worth. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I'm looking forward to Clash in Italy. I think it's going to be fun. I mean, we have a random Saturday night's main event a week before Clash in Italy. So, we have a lot. We have a Saturday night's main event coming up, and then we have Clash in Italy and the AAA event on the same day.
Really?
I think so.
The 31st? Yeah.
The 31st?
The 31st is Clash.
Okay, so the 30th is the AAA.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because that's Saturday.
Gotcha. Is Clash in Italy on a Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Well, at least it's in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's at like 2 Eastern. And then, Saturday night main event on the 23rd. Yeah,
so... you'll hear us talk more about that when we fucking get to it.
Oh. Be patient.
Be fucking patient. Switching gears a little bit to something very serious. Let's talk a little Marvel, shall we?
Okay.
Before we talk about our big Marvel stuff, let's talk about something smaller.
Before we talk about our small Marvel stuff, can I give you a producer's note?
Yeah.
Can you guess what I'm going to say?
No.
Get your hands off the table.
My finger and my fist are on here.
You're shaking the camera. And I tried to be hey guys, I tried. I texted you. And I said get your hands off the table. Puta. And I did say that. And you chose to ignore me. I saw you look at your phone.
I was doing research.
Yeah, ignoring my text. But anyway, now we can talk about Marvel.
Now we can talk about And then I will have the power to get rid of you.
I have the power of God and anime on my side.
You're doing two different things.
I don't know what you're doing.
I was doing Aladdin.
Never seen it.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
I've seen the live action one.
No, you haven't.
I've seen the live action one.
Well, yeah, you have.
Twice. Because I rewatched it because I thought it was good.
We watched Aladdin when we were painting the freaking living room.
I was a little fucking distracted. Pardon me for not being able to spot that one probably very insignificant quote from Aladdin.
Anyway, it resonated with me. So is it insignificant if it resonated with me?
Yeah. What are you gonna throw? Oh God! It didn't even hit me. Hey, don't put that down, guys. He's throwing stuff at me. Clip this. Oh Christ. Okay, he's showing this absolutely, my grandmother would call this demonic. It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson. It's a 3D print. It's iridescent purple. Dwayne The Rock Johnson's face on the body of a dragon who's a dragon knight who's overweight, and he has a man purse.
His name is Dragonite. He's a freaking Pokemon.
Oh.
So don't call him overweight.
It's just, I thought because his wings were so small, so I thought that he was overweight.
And he like delivers mail or some shit.
Oh, that's the Pokemon has the bag?
Yeah.
I thought that was just something that they added.
And it's not a purse, it's a satchel. Indiana Jones has one.
What, is that another quote?
It is.
We have to challenge ourselves one day to do a whole episode where we don't quote anything.
Or
we should
do an episode where we only speak in quotes and references.
Maybe not only, because that'll be really difficult. And that'll be like so obnoxious to watch. But maybe we could do like a counter, and we're trying whoever can sneak in the most quotes, and we keep count. Sounds like a lot of editing for you. So I don't know if you want to do that or not. I was also thinking separately. Hey, sorry. I was also thinking separately. Maybe, do you remember back in the day, like early YouTube, there was a thing called a boyfriend tag, and it was just like a bunch of questions.
Yes.
I think we should do that.
No.
Oh, I think we should do that on account of when those were really popular. I was desperately alone, and I think it could be fun to revisit that and kind of quell that that trauma from my past, my childhood.
So this isn't about me.
What?
So this isn't about me.
I think it's questions about us, both of us.
What if I don't want to answer them?
Then I guess I will stay traumatized like I was in my youth.
Yeah, that'd be funny. We should actually do a whole, maybe we come up with a, maybe do some early YouTube research and see, maybe we could do a whole themed episode.
Oh, baby, the early YouTube research is right here, Pookie. I got it all in there.
Anyway,
sorry.
So,
Marvel.
Talking about Marvel, we got a new
Lord
freaking poster.
Seshobaru. He's Marvel.
He's
marvelous to look at.
Jesus Christ.
Marvelous to listen to. Continue.
His little guy. He's like,
no,
Lord Seshobaru.
Not the little guy.
Ah!
Whatever the fuck his name was.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
But anyway, Jockin?
Master Jockin?
No, he was Lord Seshomaru. Maybe the little girl called him Master Jockin.
Little girl.
I think it's Jockin.
Jockin these nuts. Okay, Marvel.
Anyway, we got a new poster for Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Okay.
And it's like it's pretty cool. It's I mean, it's very simple. It's just a shot of Peter Parker, and he's got a fucking hoodie on, and his mask is off, and his Spider-Man costume is showing. Anyway, my only gripe with it is that, hey, Marvel.
Is it this?
Yeah. We missed an opportunity to put him in a black puffer.
And that's so, and
we missed an opportunity to put him in a black puffer.
And there's another one, and it's the suit, and the suit's tucked in. It's a close up of his feet. The suit's tucked into some Timbs.
Some Timbs? And I know, hey, listen, he's from Queens, so he should, I don't know that he's rocking a Yankee fitted, but he could have a freaking Mets new era fitted. Like, what the fuck are we doing over there? I'm just saying, like,
he's
he could
supposed to be
have
a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
And you know what? While we're at it, let's give him one of those like chin strap beards going into a goatee.
Let's give him a fade.
Yeah, let's give him a fade. Let's get him faded up.
Oh, brother.
This Peter. Well, actually, I was gonna make the joke that this Peter exclusively dates women of color, but actually, in this franchise, he exclusively dates women of color. And I'm just saying, let's, you don't think Peter would have had the black girlfriend glow up?
Oh, yes. Oh, well, right now, no, because they're separated by time and space. But maybe that'll be the next film. I'm gonna glow up. He'll be in a black turtleneck with a chain, tucked into some really nice pants. A fade.
This motherfucker's gonna walk around looking like Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Suspenders.
Oh shit. But only when he's got somewhere to go. But when he's out in the freaking streets, you don't think he's gonna be wearing his Timbs and his jeans puffer? And his freaking black puffer in the winter?
A black puffer even?
Even?
Are you from New York even?
Do you think Spider-Man ever swings indoors? Like web swings?
Yeah.
Indoors?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They got some big ass buildings up there, swinging through Grand Central Station, high ceilings.
But do you think that's his preferred place to swing around?
No.
Where do you think he'd want to go?
It's like when you see a bird in a Home Depot and you're like, God, I mean, it's big, but like, I don't think you want to be in here.
So where would Spider-Man want to go?
Where would he prefer to swing?
Yeah.
Into MJ's bed.
Okay. I was gonna say he'd he'd prefer to be outside.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Sorry. I didn't know where you were trying to lead me. I was trying to play with you in that space, but I didn't know where I was supposed to go. I was a little lost.
You see him after he just saved someone, and everyone just is like, yeah.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man's just like, yeah, on the way out.
And I feel like maybe we're saving that for Miles Morales.
Oh, he's definitely saying like, we outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He might have already said it in one of these other films, and I just haven't seen it. When is that movie coming out?
Next year or some shit.
Oh my God.
It's always next year.
You're freaking Miles Pop.
I know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah, I want a very, very New York Spider-Man, and I think him getting into an argument with someone he just saved.
Yeah, and then they hug at the end.
Like, you spilled coffee on my shirt. He's like, you're welcome for saving you.
Yeah, I just saved your life. You're welcome. And he's like, thank you. I love you, man. Don't ever do that again.
He's like, he goes, now fuck off, you schmuck.
Yeah, exactly. Very New York. I've been there twice, but I think I know what's what.
But we're envisioning a fun Spider-Man romp in New York.
Vision.
But in the freaking in Hell's Kitchen and in the city of New York, things weren't looking too great.
Falling apart in Hell's Kitchen in Little Sicily. Shit's falling apart.
The fucking sky's falling out there. So yeah, we're here to talk about Daredevil Born Again season 2 and The Punisher One Last Kill, respectively.
Yeah.
Overall thoughts for Daredevil Born Again season 2. Fantastic.
Great. Especially
fantastic.
You guys know I had my holdups on season 1 on account of the beginning was bad.
Which was fair.
And the cast is saying it. The cast is saying, oof, well, guys, hold out for season 2. Well, I held out for season 2 and I really enjoyed it. I think it was solid. I feel like the one complaint I had at the end was like, things are wrapping up too neatly. Like, too quickly, too neatly, spoiler alert, but Matt in the courtroom being like, I'm Daredevil, I'm gonna do one cool move, you guys are all gonna believe me, and then also for some reason I'm not gonna be like forced to recuse myself from this trial on account of I'm part of it and everything's gonna just fall into place. That felt a little too clean to me.
I do think that, well, because remember, here's a couple things. This is, I hear you. I see you. I'm holding space for you. That's a quote from a play, from a local play we saw once.
Oh.
So I did not write that.
Just another reference.
It is another reference. A very, very local reference.
Yeah.
So my thing is that Wilson Fisk wasn't on trial, so he wouldn't have been able to be arrested for anything for that anyway. He was not on trial. Karen Page was on trial. It was a matter of using the court of public opinion. So I think that was the move. And so that's why he also, I mean, he wasn't arrested for racketeering or whatever the fuck he should have been arrested for. He should have also been arrested for like murdering a bunch of people in the finale. But anyway, so I do get those criticisms. But I also think so much happened in those few episodes before we got to the finale. They were just like, all right, we just need to not to push through it because it sounds like it was all bad, but it was just like so many traumatic things happened back to back to back that they're just like, all right, we're gonna stop torturing you guys a little bit.
We need some wins in here. I think. I don't know. It felt almost like they needed another episode to like just give it some time for things to blossom instead of just like and then and it's all tied with a bow. I don't know.
I don't think it's tied with a bow, but
No, it's not tied with a bow. Obviously, we still have some things like fucking Bullseye and.
But I also think your thought of it, like, he's like, oh well, I'm Daredevil, and I'm gonna just chuck my thing real quick. I do think that's gonna play into season 3 if the storyline they're doing where he's now trying to prove he's not Daredevil.
Wait, that's what's happening in season 3?
Well, they haven't officially announced, but people are speculating that it's going to be pulling from, I think it's called The Devil in Cell Block D, where Matt's in prison and he's like trying to prove he's not Daredevil.
What the fuck?
To be released to get out of prison because he's in prison for being a vigilante or whatever.
Yeah.
I haven't.
I mean, it would make sense.
Transparency, I have not read it.
That would make sense.
And I think the Danny fucking Fist.
Oh my god.
Iron Fist is like moonlighting as Daredevil to throw them off their I think that's the I mean I could also be making that up. I don't think I am though.
And we do know the fucking whole gang's gonna be back together next season, so that would make sense. I'm just saying it felt a little too squeaky clean, and I don't think they would have just let him reveal that and then like continue to lawyer on behalf of his girlfriend, which also I don't know if there's any conflict of interest there either. I don't know.
I don't know. But either which way, I did thoroughly enjoy the season. I do think to point out season 1, and I even said this before. I said this on maybe TikTok or something. I'm a big apologist for season 1 because, and we've even talked about this here on this podcast, where like if you've been following the making of Daredevil Born Again, that the show, especially season 1, went through some crazy shit. They had written an entire season and they filmed about half of it before Kevin Feige and all those folks were like, actually, we're going to clean house and we're going to bring in a whole new creative team, including an actual like showrunner. And so they tried to like salvage what they could while also writing new stuff. And it just made the whole series, which again, you've already spent the money on 6 episodes. You got to use them. 6 or 8 episodes. You got to use what you have, right? You can't. Okay. Yeah. So I do get that. And I you can really feel where season 1 is like
patchwork.
Yeah. Where is it that they really enjoy? Like, what's the story they wanted to tell and what's what they had to keep? So anywho, all that to say, season 2 is fully like this team, it's their creative vision and tone. And I just think it really sets this sort of world up for success, because they get to do it the way they want, you know? But yeah, I thought, I also thought a big part of the season for me, why I enjoyed it so much, was honestly the performances. I thought everybody, this is a case where like every major player in this show was just like, everyone was firing on all cylinders, you know? I just thought it was a really, really well done season for what they're doing, and I'm excited for season 3.
Me too. I am a little bummed that that little Gandolfini.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Michael
Gandolfini?
Yeah.
I was excited because in the beginning I was like, fuck this guy. Not the actor, but like the character. And then as we went, I'm like, oh, he's just a lost little lad and he doesn't know. And he saved BB. And I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to see whatever he becomes in season 3, because there's this whole thing. Like, obviously, he's set up to be the heir. He's going to continue on whatever the fuck we're doing. Again, this is halfway through season 2 thoughts. And then they killed him. I was like, I will say, I'll give him this. That surprised me. I did not see that coming. I thought that was our future Fisk.
Right.
Or something. So I am kind of bummed that he's not going to be there. We didn't see his body.
True.
But I don't know.
They did kind of Game of Thrones this a little bit in this show.
Him
like
and Vanessa.
Yeah, exactly. Like
and Foggy in the first season. That was crazy.
Yeah. I love the episode the flashback episode where we had Foggy in this one. The show has such a really great way, and I even like this about season 1, is how they show the parallels between like the good guys and the bad guys, and like in the circumstances that they go through, and that the Foggy episode was really poignant in that way, showing how Matt and Karen are on two, like Karen's thinking more like the Punisher these days, and I think we know why.
I've loved Karen's slow descent into anarchy.
Yeah,
I guess
anarchist.
Yeah, and that's coming from someone, I was kind of a Karen hater.
Interesting.
During the original run, because I thought she was annoying.
Bit of a crybaby.
Was. I think that was on purpose that she was annoying. But now, she like.
You're like, hell yeah, sister.
I'm like, girl, I'm kind of on your side. I hear what you're saying, and I get why you're saying it.
She said, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
And Matt's just, naive.
I don't think he's naive. Well, yeah, maybe a little. Hey, he's a good Catholic boy,
I guess. And you know what? After all of this bad shit that Wilson Fisk did, you know what happened to him? He got to retire on his private island and faced no consequences, except for, I guess, his dead wife, which...
Well, yes, to us. I think to Fisk, that's just as bad as prison, because he's got no one there. He's just by himself.
Yeah. On his private island with his private mansion. Island. Oh,
that should be me.
Poor guy.
On a private island. I would tell my students all the time when they're like, Mr. Perez, what did you want to be when you grew up? I said, not here. I said, on a private island, I was like eating some mango and drinking out of a coconut. And they're like, you don't want to teach us? I was like,
hell no, kids.
I was like, it doesn't matter what I want. I have to teach you.
Hey, kids, no, I would prefer not to be here.
Keep in mind,
here I am.
I taught fourth graders for a couple of years.
Well, and they need to know. They need to learn these things.
They need to know, hey, listen, a job's a job.
Yeah.
Anyway, but also a couple other things I really enjoyed about Daredevil. We had some kick-ass fight choreography. I think one of my favorite fight scenes in this whole show. There's plenty of them. So if you're someone who does enjoy like action, I think that this season is just better than season 1 on all fronts.
Yeah. I have my favorite.
Well, one of my favorites, I should say, is it's definitely the Daredevil freaking swordsman team up.
Yes, that's my favorite as well.
I mean, Jack Duquesne, who's become, for no reason, one of our favorite characters.
Oh, what do you mean for no reason? He's funny as fuck. Well, there's that as well. But he's funny and he's suave and he's
pretty cool.
He's pretty cool.
He's
like
got
he was
great
trying
hair.
in like when you watch Hawkeye from the beginning, knowing like, okay, Jack's not a bad guy. He's just like a really nice, very rich and handsome guy who's trying to be a good stepdad. He's just a nice guy. And he loves a sword. And I find that fun.
And then they put him in this fucking fight scene with Daredevil, and he's just kicking fucking ass. It's so awesome.
I love that he's been involved in this.
But perhaps, I mean, this is to no surprise. But I mean, obviously, a big highlight of the series is the return Kendra's been waiting almost 10 years for. The return of Jessica Jones.
You guys know. I love Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones, I think, was my favorite of the Netflix shows. Daredevil was great, obviously. There's something about Jessica Jones. And they teased me. They said Jessica Jones is coming this season. And every episode, episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, 4, 5, 6, whenever the fuck she showed up, I was like, guys, did you lie? I, for a second, was like, she's going to be in the last 5 minutes of the show. Like the last episode, she's going to show up and be like, hey, bitches, you ready to kick ass or whatever? And I'm going to have to wait until season 3. So when she finally showed up, oh, yes. And she's mother, literally. And this is another reason not to have kids. Her powers are now all jank and shit.
But I also love that they did that to her because it would have been so
Yeah, they had to nerf her.
Yeah, they had to nerf her just a little bit, just enough for it to be like, okay, this can sometimes be an issue.
And I think they might be nerfing Luke Cage as well, who also showed up, because I think whatever fucking psychological, whatever the fuck he witnessed doing the government's bidding wherever, I think that's going to mess him up a little bit.
But we also saw I was never the biggest fan of, go with me to the end of the sentence, please. I was never the biggest fan of all of the Jessica Jones fight choreography, specifically in The Defenders when they put her with other heroes.
Yeah, that show was booty and ass.
That show was booty and ass. It just, hey, listen, I love so many of those shows independently, but that show was just so bad. And that's coming from me, who rarely says anything is straight up bad. But in this, they also get her team up with Daredevil in that little warehouse or whatever. Mm-hmm. That was pretty fucking awesome. And they gave her like actual shit to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was great. We also saw the return of Luke Cage, which he sort of spoiled for season 3. I didn't know he was going to pop up in this season, so that was cool.
We kind of figured when we saw that mixed race child
he said,
that there was a possibility, not definite, but possibility.
Now
I saw that girl on the screen. I said, that looks like me. Huh.
The only right we have to wrong now is, hey, listen, I love Karen as much as the next guy, as much as the next girl. We need her to go check on old Frank Castle, and leave the doorway open for Matt and Claire.
Okay, Claire's not coming back. Claire might come back next season. That would be pretty cool. I don't think that she's gonna be. I think Karen's kind of it for Matt.
I blame. It wasn't Kevin Feige, because Kevin Feige wasn't running Marvel TV. That other Ike Perlmutter or whatever. I fully blame his old decrepit ass. That in the old Netflix series, it's like we could not have any long-term mixed interracial like couples.
Yeah.
Like Luke and Jessica clearly should have been together, and they really weren't by the end of those shows.
Yeah.
It was Claire and Luke. Even though like Claire was kind of had a little budding romance with Matt. I don't know. It was just a whole like you're just keeping everyone with their own, huh? Fuck you.
Fuck you.
So I'm glad we saw that Jessica and Luke are together. I love that the Alias Investigations office is now being reoccupied. So I hope that paves the way for a Jessica Jones reboot.
Yes. And she like her friend who's in prison or whatever busts out. Hated that bitch too, by the way.
You know what they need to do with Jessica Jones if they do bring it back? Sorry, we're just running on a tangent now. But you know what they need to do is they need to make like a Law and Order-esque, like every episode is self-contained. I don't need it to necessarily fit into a larger narrative until it needs to. But like I would just love like every episode to just be like she's solving different crimes.
Yeah. A procedural.
Yeah.
24 episodes a season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be fantastic.
I would fucking watch it. Cop procedural with superpower.
Now we know, but yeah, and then of course the finale of Daredevil Born Again season 2. Procedural gripes aside, I thought overall was a great finale. Me personally, I love that Fisk got his own hallway scene.
Yeah.
And boy, the fuck did he that shit was crazy.
They really went above and beyond to make him look like there's a reason why he can do what he does. Like they had him do that boxing match. They put pads in all of his suits to make him look fucking massive.
Yeah.
Like it felt a little bit more like his power wasn't like sporadic. And I think they did well with that in the original show too, to show just like violence spread out. But like they really made him like big and beefy in this one. His
boxing match was great. His fight with fucking WWE on the mic.
Yeah.
His fight with Daredevil in his like private quarters after Vanessa died was awesome. But yeah, just him fucking going in on all these protesters. That shit
all
was
these innocent people.
Innocent people. It was also interesting seeing like an insurrection of the New York Capitol happen.
Yeah.
But like vice versa. And I'm like, what a world.
Huh.
What a world.
I fear the wrong people will get the wrong message from that one.
Yeah. But I think, that's if they completely ignore everything that the season has done beforehand.
They
which
love
they might.
to ignore things.
Yeah. But that was great. Overall, Wilson Bethel as Bullseye was fantastic the entire season. He was so like good. A silent highlight of the season.
So good. Just hearing like backstage, behind the scenes, like interviews and stuff that he's been doing, he's very thoughtful in his approach to Bullseye, which maybe people wouldn't consider because Bullseye is like in it, not as much as like the season 3 of Daredevil proper or whatever.
But he's in this season a lot though.
But he was in this season a lot. But still, like I don't know if people understand like the amount of forethought he's bringing to this character as a whole. But he seems to really take it seriously, and I think that's why he stands out so much when he's on the screen, because it's like he's really tapped into that character. Man,
so much cool shit happens in this show. It's like I almost forgot that his cold open was this season, where he's in the diner and he just takes out.
Was great. The diner was great.
It's like, yeah, this season is just, it's so awesome. So like if you've gone this far, I'm assuming you've watched it, but if you haven't, go watch it. It's fucking great.
Worth it. Yeah.
One person who did not show up in the series, we mentioned him a little while ago, was old Frank Castle.
His apartment showed up, but he was busy.
He was long gone. He was kind of going through it. I think at the end of season 1, he was put in a cage.
Yeah,
and then he did break out. I think that might have fucked him up a little bit though.
Yeah, I think that was a triggering event if his one shot special presentation is anything to go off of.
Yeah. So we had the Punisher one last kill. And something tells me it's not his one last kill.
Something tells me on account of because he's in freaking Spider-Man, it's not going to be his last kill.
But I thought this was I'll get this part of the way. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I did enjoy it quite a bit. It's one of those that like I think I had to sit with it a while. It looks like Kendra didn't.
I'll get to my thoughts soon.
I think for me, again, I'm speaking for myself here. I enjoyed it quite a bit because I can appreciate the approach and the type of story it was. I think showing someone at their lowest, especially a character who a lot of people still misinterpret as like a beacon of strength and like masculinity, but stripping it down to like, a heartbreaking line is when he, you see this in the trailer, so this isn't really like a spoiler, but he sees, members of his, I don't know what the proper term is, platoon, his team. He sees like ghosts of them, right? Or hallucinations of them. And at one point, we are going to talk some minor spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled at all, go watch it and then come back. But moving forward, some spoilers. He says the line, "I think I need help," or something like that. And I'm like, man, it's just like, I don't know, something about seeing someone who's so perceived as like, over, especially John Bernthal, like, especially online now, like the dude bros love him. So like to see someone like so like seemingly masculine, like just continually breaking down and just sort of succumbing to his own inner demons, is such an interesting way to take a story like this. And I think for him to like finding a reason to continue on, like finding a reason to live, is just such an interesting story. And I can appreciate just the different type of presentation we got for something like this. Do I think it was perfect? No. I thought all the action was awesome. I think the action is the highlight of all this, but I do think that there's a really powerful story and a powerful sentiment baked into it that I was a fan of. I'm excited to see. I hope we get to see more of the Punisher, and I hope maybe that, you know, comes up in perhaps another series. Again, I don't know how. I think they're being very careful with series moving forward. I think they want to make sure that it's sustainable before they continue to do anything else. But I would like to see more of the Punisher.
I agree. I actually thought that I didn't read the fine print. Thought this was a limited series. So when the episode was over, I was like excited to see what happens next. And you were like, that was it. And I was like, oh, So I agree. I do think anytime we get to sit with Frank Castle specifically, because he's so misunderstood, I think that it is important. And again, because John Bernthal is so thoughtful and he's been playing Frank Castle now for a very long time. He's very invested. He understands Frank Castle as a character. And I think that's why it always is so impactful, because of his very genuine performance of it. I think my issue isn't necessarily the story that was told. And yeah, hearing that was devastating. Him seeing visions of his old therapist. Yeah. Who like understood him on a level nobody else did. After he had already sold all of his possessions, after he had already like put all of his weapons in a bag, he knew what he was going to do. And he still was like, I think I need help. Yeah. Ugh. That's so sad. And then for him to go to his family's graves and be like, I'm going to do this here with them. Right. Devastating. All of that is very profound and impactful and important to show. My issue.
I think I have the same issues.
Yeah. Someone online said that it felt like the wrong, like a draft version of this presentation was uploaded. That's kind of how I feel. The first thing I noticed was the sound mixing issues. I thought there was something wrong with our TV. I turned it up and I said, I still can't hear it. I paused it and I looked into our settings. I thought the sound bar was off or something. Working perfectly fine. The ads were loud as shit, I'll tell you that.
The music.
Yeah, the music and then the ads and then like some of the dialogue. So it was like, ugh. And then we got to that fucking fall onto the metal thing that was, I said it in the moment. I said that looked like a video game. Yeah. Someone said it looked like Uncharted. It looked exactly like Uncharted. And there was another scene where he was running down a hallway and I'm like, that's face replacement. Like, yeah. It's one thing. I know that people have issue when people take a scene, slow it down, rewatch it 15 times, and then pick out all of like the bad details. The thing is like, you weren't intended to view it that way. In the moment you didn't catch it. It was only after you replayed it 40 times or had someone point it out to you that you noticed. These were things that I noticed as I was watching it. And that's what I don't like, because it took me out. Yeah. When I can spot it and I'm like, face replacement, that looks like a video game, sounds bad. Like, I'm out of it. Yeah. Now, whatever story you're trying to tell me is now backseat. Yeah. To these issues I'm experiencing.
I do think the biggest, well, let me ask you, do you think that I'm sorry, I cut you off. But do you think you would have enjoyed it more had the sound mixing, like, do you think the other issues would have jumped out to you as much had the sound mixing not been what it was?
I would have still caught the other issues for sure.
But that's not my question.
You said, would the other issues have jumped out to you as much if the sound mixing was bad? I would have still caught them.
Would you have cared as much?
I wouldn't have thought the entire thing was like a rough draft. Okay. But like even when the audio's fine, if the visual's bad, like
yeah. I know, but I'm just saying, like I'm wondering if the precedent's already like, oh man, like I can only focus on how bad the audio is.
No, I feel because at a certain point you kind of have to get over it. There were some times where I'm like, I can't hear what they're saying.
Yeah, I agree.
So that kind of took me up, but like the sound issues were annoying. The visual issues were jarring. Them together. There were also some scenes, someone pointed out that they felt that the editing was wonky. To me, it felt like, I mentioned this to you, it feels like a movie that a stunt actor like would direct, like a stunt team made the movie, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because I love stunts, but it did have that kind of like filming a previs energy to some of the action scenes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It didn't. I agree that one shot, which is crazy because they've come out and the visual effects people have been like, so yeah, that was all filmed practically, except we added a little CG to put his face in there. I'm like, well, woof.
I don't know if I believe that. I can't. If they did, then they did some wonky shit with like frame rates and stuff. It looked.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with you. I would hope they wouldn't come out and just straight up lie about that, especially knowing it looks bad. I would like to think that they're like, but I think perhaps you're right. It almost looked like they slowed it down.
It was like slow mode a little bit.
So I think that was also just not if that was an artistic choice, that wasn't a good one, because you could see like his face not make any sort expression. Of reaction.
That was the other thing. John kept trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. And he's like, well, maybe the sound mixing is like supposed to be that way. So when you hear his kid, well, only his daughter, his son, back burner, but like when you hear his daughter's voice, it's supposed to be like ring out really impactful. When you hear the music, it's supposed to be really impactful. He's just so dead inside that the world is muted. And I'm like, I love that you think that way. I don't think that's...
maybe it was. We haven't been told otherwise.
Correct. I wouldn't be surprised if within the week we had a new version uploaded and like it never happened. I also didn't necessarily care for like... I guess the big bad in this one was depression, but the Nucci family, like I didn't love the performance of the mother character. Sorry, I know. And it's just like...
That's crazy. You're crazy.
I know that they didn't have a lot of time to like give us the backstory of all that. So they had to like show us, but I was like, I don't care about any of these people. Like, I don't know any of these people. I don't care. She cares though, because those were her sons. But yeah, okay. I don't know. I just didn't really like, she doesn't have me quaking in my boots. You know what I mean?
You're allowed to not like the special.
I liked... She
didn't like it. She didn't like it.
I liked the majority of the story. The technical issues aside, because that's not a creative issue. You know what I mean? I just wish that the ties to his family were a little bit more obvious, so that I'm like, oh yeah, I hate these people too. But I didn't. I was just like, okay. It just felt random. Like they were trying, because I know that the family's like big in the comics. Maybe they're trying to set something up with this mother figure in the future. But I don't know. I just didn't like it. Didn't that part of it didn't. But again, I think the main. I don't think that was the main point.
Right.
And I think everything with like the neighborhood. I think the way that the neighborhood was portrayed was nice. I don't know. I feel like you don't see like, if people are like these rough and tumble streets, you're not like seeing dutiful parents and stuff like that. I feel like we saw a lot of, it felt more realistic, I guess. So him like defending his neighborhood at the end, I liked that. I liked the majority of the story that was being told. And also, again, keep in mind, this whole time I thought this was episode 1 of like 4.
Right.
So I was also expecting more.
Right.
I also don't, and this is like a separate thing. For me, I know that when Spider-Man comes out, I'm going to be like, okay, this is Frank Castle in this universe. I don't really have a lot of hope for other people to be able to be like, go from this TVMA story jumping into Spider-Man and not feeling like, oh, he's watered down. He's going to be watered down.
I would fucking hope. I think if the Punisher was in Spider-Man the way he's portrayed in his own show or Daredevil,
Rated
he
R
would
Spider-Man.
be the villain of the movie.
Well, hey, wait, hold on. Well,
he would, if he's out there serial killing people.
Bad people.
It doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't matter to Spider-Man. Well, it doesn't matter. It matters to Spider-Man.
I was gonna say, it doesn't matter to Frank.
It matters to those do-gooder losers.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't go around fucking serial killing people.
Could you imagine a rated R Spider-Man? Hey.
Well, that's not what we were talking about. I'm just saying,
if Frank was Frank in Spider-Man Brand New Day, it'd be rated R.
If Frank was Frank, he would be the villain of the movie.
R. Well,
he would be the villain of the movie. Spider-Man would have to constantly try and get him to stop killing people.
And it does seem like that's what's going to happen in Brand New Day.
So, hey, he hasn't tried to kill Spider. Well, he does in the trailer. He does shoot him point blank with a fucking shotgun. So
yeah, it's muffled. I do think, though, I'm predicting those complaints. I can separate that in my head because I understand we can't have the same Frank Castle in a fucking Spider-Man movie.
Right.
I can see it in my head already. People being like, well, all of this stuff that we're doing in Brand New Day is completely overshadowing what they did in Last Kill Tonight or whatever with John Oliver. I don't know. I have a vision that that's going to happen. Vision Quest.
That comes out in like October.
Very excited.
But no, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I do think that some of it is set up for a potential continuation of the story, either in a sequel, in a movie, in a
season
series.
3 of Daredevil. I don't know.
Yeah, so I could see the new cheese being a bigger part of this more street level thing.
Yeah. Well, are there any left?
The freaking. The
mom, and I guess she said that they have like a bunch of criminals and shit on their payroll. So I guess the Nucci gang,
the dynasty. I will never badmouth Judith Light, so that's crazy that you did.
I
but
didn't
it's okay.
I wasn't a fan.
I do think one thing I will say, is that because they needed to get so much story out.
Oh, she was
the decision to have what? Exposition.
Yes.
See, don't talk over me if you don't even know what the fuck you're saying.
I knew I needed your help.
Is that there was a lot of monologuing because of it. To present all of that as a monologue, I can understand. And I agree that that's like, even though again, just being a fan of hers, like, I can appreciate that they had her up there doing her thing. But yeah, that is a choice in a 50-minute special to have.
10 minutes of monologue.
Yeah. So I can agree with that. But yeah, I think once the action gets up and rolling, I didn't clock as many. I mean, obviously the fall was a big one. I didn't clock as many of the other things you did, so it didn't bug me as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm excited to see where they go from here. And I'm excited for Spider-Man Brand New Day, which I think is our next big Marvel thing in just a few weeks. So, yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you all for tuning into this edition of Ringside. If you're not already, please make sure you're following us on all the various social medias. That way you can keep up to date with everything we've got going on. We do we do a live stream, a WWE centric live stream called Pre-Preview. We try to do them for every PLE upcoming. Yes. So we'll be doing one for Clash in Italy, fucking probably, toward the end of the month. That's at 2. So yeah, we should be able to. So be sure to follow us on Twitch and TikTok, so that way you can catch us on our live stream. We also have another series called
Perez in the parks.
Perez in the parks.
We talk about theme parks. Sometimes.
Mostly Disney.
But
hey, we're working on it.
We're working on it.
So yeah, make sure you're following us on all the things that we can keep up to date with all of it. And that about does it. So we will see y'all for the next one. Zip it up and zip it out.
Bye, guys.